We meet here today to honor and pay tribute to Enfys Nest, and to express our love and admiration for her. It is only natural that we should feel sad today, as Enfys Nest is no longer a part of our arena meta, so we have come to ponder the wonderful life and death of a truly wonderful character. So yeah, Enfys Nest got nerfed, she's pretty much next to useless, and there are some other bugs we need to talk about. So let's go ahead and get into everything. What's up, guys? Welcome back. So, Enfys Nest, she got nerfed today. Excuse me, not nerfed, but she got fixed. And what's going on here is that they have changed the way bonus protection is calculated, and this really only works on a couple of characters like Enfys Nest and Darth Traya. Here's the full post. Hi, Holotable Hero. Oh my god. Hi, Holotable Hero. Wow, I can't speak tonight. Hi, Holotable Heroes. There we go. Meant to post this yesterday, didn't get in because of all the title update, yada yada. We'll come back to that. We noticed several odd interactions with Nest, and after investigating, we found a bug that caused bonus protection to not be calculated properly. Bonus protection was incorrectly calculated based on the initial max health of this character at the start of the battle, instead of being calculated throughout the battle as intended. This caused an issue when fighting with or against any character that can modify max health, including applying the max health up buff. For an example, with a battle with Revan, Enfys Nest can be reduced to almost 1 hit point, but still be able to generate massive amounts of protection due to the calculation not checking the current max health. So, this has been an issue that I thought was a little weird. I never really worried about too much because my Revan team could still cut through an Enfys Nest pretty easily. This affects a lot of people out there. But basically what's going to happen is now you will no longer be calculating off of the max health of Enfys Nest at the start of the battle. As she continually reduces her health throughout the match because of the Revan leadership, you are eventually going to get to the point where you are doing way more damage than she can generate. So instead of having to wait for her to take a turn to kill her, you're going to kill her before she takes that first turn. And this is a bug fix. I know a lot of people are mad. They're saying that this is a nerf. This was really a bug. It was flagged about a month ago on the EA Help Center, where basically someone noticed this, and really there was no way to notice this until Revan came out, because there was no way to do a consistent health max health down debuff that you could apply on someone outside of the Revan lead. That's what the Revan lead does. So it was not working as intended. It was a bug. It was flagged. They were investigating it. It took a month for this to come out, which that's kind of one of the big things. It's a month after Revan is out, and you know, everyone's getting her up to 7 stars. And also, number 2, the fact that they didn't push this out right away with the title update. This should have been in there. This was a massive change to the meta. I mean, you have teams where Enfys Nest just dominates Jedi teams because of her Zeta and everything here, but now with this, she gets torn apart by Revan teams very easily. You are not going to be able to use her to counter Revan teams. But it's not really so much a problem with Traya, because Traya doesn't regenerate a lot of protection up like Enfys Nest does. So Traya still got hit with it a little bit, but nowhere to the degree that Enfys Nest is. So this is the big problem for sure. We're going to have to find some new counters. There's also going to be some implications for this with Grand Arena, because you're getting some new point systems there with max health and max protection. So this could hurt her viability there as well, maybe, but only if you're using her against Revan teams. So all this really sucks for her. She's definitely been nerfed. She's not going to be good against Revan teams anymore. So we're going to have to find some new creative ways to beat those Revan teams that don't include Enfys Nest, or using them that basically sacrifice Enfys Nest. It's much like Traya in the beginning, where you're always going to lose Traya when fighting a Revan team. You're always going to lose Enfys Nest when fighting a Revan team. So there's pretty much the same situation here. So I'm of two minds about this. Yes, it's a bug fix. They fixed the bug, and now it's working as intended. However, I completely understand why people are mad about this. If I didn't have Revan, I'd be furious right now. So there is that, you know, this was a big issue. This was a character that people use to help climb against those Revan teams, but you still have other characters that can work well too. Bastila, the Fallen Bastila, works really well against Revan teams on offense, so there are other characters you guys can throw in there. A 4 or 3 star Bastila is going to work just fine against a Revan team, as I've shown in a previous video, so not going to be a problem really much for that. So It's not the end of the world. If you're fighting against Revan teams, don't worry. You're going to do just fine there. So those are my thoughts. I know I'm not spending a lot of time talking about this because there's some other stuff I really want to get to that came out today. The other big thing that came out today was that there has been a new bug showing up in the game with Traya and Sion. If you go and look at the Sith and you go look at the Traya unique and the Zeta on the Traya unique, she can cleanse debuffs from your Sith allies and removes a little bit of their health. That's okay. And what was going on here was that she was able to dispel the pain from your character so that the opposing Darth Sion can't taunt. So he has 100% defense tenacity against enemies with pain. If they have pain, he gains taunt until the end of the turn. What was happening originally was Traya was cleansing the pain because the pain was gone from the Sith ally. They were no longer being forced to target Darth Sion. Over the course of this title update today, things have changed, and now pretty much what's happening is Sion has now been able to taunt before pain gets cleansed. So the order of operations has been switched. They are looking into this further, so we don't know if this is going to stay or if this gets changed. I think this is a bug. I think this is something they need to reverse on right away, because this ruins your mirror matches for Traya versus Traya. Pretty much, you're forced to target their Sion, and there's nothing you can do about it. It really sucks. It's something that shouldn't be here. I really hope they fix this quickly. But there are some other problems. Someone on my Discord server knows another problem that showed up recently. At first glance, it doesn't look like much. You can notice the zombie has 2 stacks of Endless Horde, so it has the plus 100% bonus speed, and it's isolated. Something new has popped up with this bug with Sion and the order of operations. It has also affected Nightsister Zombie in the Sith raid. From what we can tell, they have switched some of the order of operations here as well, so that Zombie is supposed to taunt at the end of its turn, even though it has Isolate, because Isolate only affects buffs outside of that character's turn. Zombie should be able to still taunt because it's still during its turn. However, things have switched here. The taunt happens after the end of the turn now, so that the turn's over and then it tries to apply the dot, not applies the dot and then it's finally the end of the turn, or excuse me, the taunt. So it will no longer give Zombie the taunt if it has Isolate. This is a problem. We don't know exactly what's going on. We're assuming that it's some kind of order of operations bug, that just like we have with Sion and Traya. So CG, if you're watching this, if you guys can, bring this up with CG, make sure they get eyes on this, because this is a big problem as well for the Sith raid, because Zombie has to pretty much eat the Annihilates for your Nightsister team. If Zombie can't taunt, you can't guarantee those Annihilates in Phase 4, you're going to start losing your other Nightsisters, and things are going to go really badly for your team. So this needs to get fixed ASAP for sure. But enough of the bugs and the protection up. I want to talk to you guys about a data mine that came out with this new title update, talking about some new raid modes, apparently. And big shout out to Heist Hero, who did this data mine. He kind of organized it all for me so I could talk about it here. Something called Arcade Raids. We don't know what it is yet, but it looks at first glance like some kind of scoring system. So it seems to be some kind of new game mode. Maybe there's been speculation that we're going to be getting a high difficulty of our raids down the line. People have been asking for like a mythic version of the Rancor and the tank raids for a while. So maybe this is what it's going to be. But what you can tell is that there is this line that pops up in the data mine, Arcade Raid Overkill Percentage label. So there's something coming called Arcade Raid, maybe. We don't know, but looks like there's some kind of new raid coming here soon. Now, if you look a little bit more in, you can see that there's some kind of scoring system here, and it gives you some kind of bonuses to your scores. So, you know, you score plus 50% if the party has 3 attackers. Score 10% for every 10 times the boss is damaged by an attack. Score 50% if the party has 3 attackers. We already saw that. Plus 30% if allies gained at least 30 buffs. Plus 20% if the party has at least 1 bounty hunter. It goes on and on. If they inflict debuffs, inflict damage over time, if there's at least 3 Jedi, if it defeats at least 5 minions. But what it looks like is that this is going to be some kind of event that shows up and you just throw in parties and you do as much damage as you can. It will give you some kind of score multiplier if you follow certain parameters. I'm not sure if these are all going to be active at the same time or not, but really it looks like this is going to be some kind of scoring mode where you just go ham on a raid and you see how much damage you can do, and based on the parameters you're going to change up your teams and see what you can do. It probably is going to really help if you have like a well-rounded team, like you have a tank, a healer, and 3 attackers. Probably going to be a well-rounded team, probably what this is going to go for. We don't know about the difficulty. We don't know if this is going to be some kind of super difficult item or event. And, you know, there's a couple of other things. There's some assets here, like Arcade Raid Icon 1, Event, Summary, Arcade Raid Detail View, Summary View, Results View. So this looks like it's going to be something similar to what we see with Territory Wars, where you get the preview, you get the summary, you can go in and review it overall, see how each person did. There's a lot of stuff to unpack here, but of course this is all data mine stuff, and I should mention, as a data mine, take it with a grain of salt, but this looks pretty legit. This has me excited. I don't know what this is. I've been waiting for some new raids. It's been almost a year since we got the Sith raid at this point. Not almost a year. It's been about 9 months. 9 months, somewhere around there. So, about time for a new raid. And if this is some kind of raid event where we just get to go ham and just dump our rosters on a raid, I am all for that. I'm tired of a Sith raid where I have to use specific teams and only certain characters because half my roster doesn't work because of the mechanics with the raid. If this is something where I can just dump my roster in and get as many points and as big a score as I can, I will be all for that. I would love that. I hope that's what this is. We don't know. This is all speculation. So this is the big news I want to talk to you guys about. Of course, I do want to address the stuff with Traya and Sion, the order of operations. All that's a mess. So we do have C-3PO coming at some point. And if you look at these packs for the Ewoks, you're going to notice they expire in 15 days. The packs for the characters required for the legendary event expire on the same day the legendary event ends. So expect the legendary event for C-3PO to start in 8 days. So Thursday next week. So that means we will probably see a kit for C-3PO Monday or Tuesday, fingers crossed. If they can cross their T's and dot their I's, or however the saying goes, hopefully we can see it this weekend. We don't know. But C-3PO coming very soon. Expect it next week. And of course, we're going to have Darth Revan in the future with these Dark Side, with these other Old Republic characters. Though at this point, I would not be surprised if Darth Revan's going to require Jedi Knight Revan to unlock. Who knows about that? So we do have all that. We have the marquee release update. Jango Fett and IG-2000 are now farmable. This is easily the best hard node now. Jango Fett shards and Houndstooth shards. You are going to get some really good stuff here. I already have Houndstooth at 7 stars. That doesn't really matter much for me, but Jango shards with the Houndstooth, that is perfect for a lot of people. That's an easy farm for them. They're still working on Houndstooth. Now they can work on Jango Fett at the same time. So not the synergy that we were looking for with Bosk and Houndstooth, but Jango Fett and Houndstooth, it's close enough. I am perfectly okay with that. And of course, we do have IG-2000 in the shards as well. That's pretty much everything, guys. Sorry for this being so late. There's been a lot of stuff going on. You know, the changes to Traya, and I want to get all my facts and information correct, because I want to make sure that everything's good before I start making a video about this. And of course, a big shout out to Big B3206 on my Discord server for sending me that notification about the Nightsister Zombie and the Isolate and Taunting Bug. So big thank you to him for giving me the heads up on that right before I start recording, so I can talk about that as well. So that's going to be it for me tonight, guys. I've got some videos I'm working on for Grand Arena for you guys, so I just want to make this short, talk about the big issues that came out today with the updates and everything, and also talk about that raid data mine, because that's potentially some kind of big new mode that we're getting here soon. So fingers crossed that we get some new raid stuff. So that's gonna be it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you guys later.